Hey you, so in this video what I want to do is run you through a little bit behind the scenes of the system I call the Daily Client Engine, which I install for my clients inside Modern Maker, my program. It's fully automated, or I would say maybe 80% automated, with the exchange of some DMs if anybody has questions. And it is exactly how people opt into my world, and I get paid anything between, 3 figures to 5 figures in my sleep, and I turn leads to customers, to clients, and I'm going to do it using 2 doodles. I've also got a cheat sheet that I'm going to attach in the comments below. You can hit subscribe if you want to follow for more. You can grab the cheat sheet and explore the examples, and hopefully this will be helpful for you. So this doodle, I always say inside Modern Maker, is the $1 million doodle. Why? Because once you understand what it does, it gives you superpowers. On the left side, we have Hell Island. On the right side, we have Heaven Island. So what this does is basically your ideal client has some present pain right now. They are on Hell Island. In my world as a business consultant or a business mentor, some Hell Island bits for coaches, for consultants could be like, I can't get enough clients, I can't get my financial goals, my content doesn't hit, I feel exhausted and tired with the business that I'm building, I take too many sales calls right now and I'm managing big teams. So I write a list of 5 to 10 Hell Island basically pain points, and then drill them over and over. And on LinkedIn, that's my primary platform. That's where I do something called dog whistling, which we'll get into in a moment. Now, over time, in my world, what resonated the most was people hated sales calls and hated outbound. And that's how this model was birthed, right? Because when I became a dad recently, everything in me changed. I wanted to build a system that helped everything come through inbound without me having to be there all the time and do sales calls and all of that. And since 2023, I haven't actually done one, so I'm really, really happy about it. Now, Hell Island is on that side, and that's where they are. On the other side, we have Heaven Island. That's the desire. That's where they want to be. So the same way we mapped out 5 to 10 pain points for Hell Island, we map out 5 to 10 desires. So in my world, again, looking at these coaches, consultants, info, service providers, whatever they are, Heaven Island might mean, I want to work 4 hours a day. I want to work 3 to 4 days a week. I want to run a business on my own with maximum of VA and hit $1 million. Or whatever that may be, I want to not miss my daughter's talent show. So, and monetary wise could be like 20K. I want to be, on the energy side, energetically attractive, or whatever that may be. That's Heaven Island. And I'll map all of that, out and start basically drilling content there. Now, the bridge between the two is your offer. And that bridge to me is like the plan, if you like, the path, the roadmap of how we're going to get there. And usually the way that I sell it is in 3 steps. Like first we do one thing, then we do another thing, and next we do the third thing. Now, if the present pain and the desire is razor sharp enough for them, and they understand what you do and who you are, then that offer could be a Google Doc offer. And I've helped, over 250 clients sell without sales calls. You can get your own one if you go to swipemymojo.com and follow through. You get your own Google Doc and see what that feels like. So this bridge, I've managed to sort of crack the code. You can see here in blue, it says 1 post, 1 email, and 1 offer, which is basically how I take them round. But before we dive into that, if we understand our ideal clients' Hell Island and their Heaven Island, and we are able to paint that over and over and over again, you start building resonance. we don't write for reach, we write for resonance. Like, I probably suck at growing audiences anywhere else. I've really struggled and been open about me unable to crack the Instagram organic growth puzzle. I've only got 2K followers, but I make about, $100 to $300 per day with this system. Or on LinkedIn, I do have 47K, but that took 2 years to get there. Now, anyway, the point of this is what happens in this middle layer here, in my world, is the daily client engine. That is sort of the operating system that clients and students install, which, not rocket science, but we'll walk through it. We've got the cat here. There's Freddy. He's literally sat over here. You can see him in the picture. But what is the Modern Maker daily client engine? Again, the operating system that my students and clients license out that takes them from the pink hell all the way through to the pink heaven. Now, this is all going to make sense. I just want you to see that anything in green is my unique mechanism. Inside the engine, there are 4 components. That's what we're going to talk about today. Within those, I have a content ecosystem that is in orange. So we have social media, we've got email, and we've got YouTube for video. And then the blue bits are our little guy over here with his snapback hat. How we go from follower to lead to customer to client, and put our hands up like this and go, yay! So, number 1, we use social media to do something called dog whistling. Like, I don't want to shout broadly through this megaphone and attract triers, people who want to just try my stuff and like my stuff but never buy my stuff. I want a dog whistle so only that species of ideal client can hear me, and I want to repel everybody else. So the same way dog whistles are only heard by dogs, there is a certain way of writing inside Modern Maker or within this part of the daily client engine that targets our specific audience and also dog whistles so they feel resonance, right? The people who don't resonate scroll past that. And those are my little musical notes. And to dog whistle, we basically get followers that are dogs. They're not cats, they're not raccoons, they're not insert animal. And we use social media as the first part of the engine to grow with the right sort of followers. Then, number 2, we have what I call the what, not how component of the daily client engine. That is where we turn a follower into a lead by getting them to opt into our lead magnet so they get on our email list. So my little doodle over here, that's an email. And what we do is we write emails here that show the what, not the how, so they need you right now. Because if you give them the how, like grandma's recipe, right? Like my grandma was really good, it still is, at making cheesecake. If she gave me the recipe, I would never go. I'd go to the supermarket and grab the recipe and say, thanks, grandma. So when all of these coaches, consultants, or people I work with give everything away for free, who do you think you're attracting? But if you show the what, or that you have the insight of what's going on with this style of writing, then you're showing them that you have the solution and you understand, right? Now, by writing these types of emails, the framework over here is called the micro snack cartel. Just like Pablo Escobar gave people little doses of his own snacks before giving them the big thing, I create micro snacks and give them to leads and try to convert them to customers on my email list. Now, even when opting in, I always present a lead, right, with a customer offer. That Swipe My Mojo reference that I made, swipemymojo.com, gives you a doc, but also makes you a customer offer for $47. So now I've got an email list that's shown me intent and is filled with once-off customers. You're not like marketing to leads, you're marketing to real people who've bought from you with this micro snack cartel. Now, my micro snack cartel basically writes story-driven emails. It's not like a newsletter, with 3 ways I can help you that's really long and boring. It's literally me telling stories with lessons that pivot into offers from my daily life and my business life. So I document my journey and then give them micro snacks to nibble on. That all happens through the email, and once in a while I will pivot people into YouTube videos so they can see the same way you are watching this one today. I nurture them and take them deeper into my ecosystem, right? So they get to know me, they get to see the way I think, they get to see my vibe, and so on and so forth. So we've taken our little guy, we've dog whistled. Then number 2, we've written what, not how type emails, right? And we've offered little passive snacks to try to turn a lead into a customer. Now, so far so good. We do that with little snacks, and then we can give them bigger snacks so they can become clients. So that's what happens over here. Now, once they either become a customer or a client, because on rotation I might make a client offer, so it's not so micro, we have this thing called an OfferPeel. I see it as I've doodled it. There's something small that ascends to something big, right? Now, inside of Modern Maker, I already create assets for my clients, for my students, right? Which is in this layer over here of the onion peel or the offer peel. When I've got a one-on-one client, they might ask for something like an SOP, a resource, a video or something. I will just grab that, package it up, and sell it as a product to my list, or a very small fragment of it as a lead magnet for free to get a follower to turn into a lead, and then a lead to become a customer. So instead of marketing to the product, I am marketing from the product, like a carpenter who is sawing, right? And then in the process of sawing the wood, sawdust falls on the floor and I collect it instead of create random content. I am basically collecting content that's fallen on the floor from the process that has already happened, which makes it so much funner because I just exist and then I show what I do and give people what I have through that documenting journey. So this is what the OfferPeel does. So once we have a customer right up here and they are labeled that, they've probably bought a product, right? This little micro snack. Now inside of that, I can just ask them, hey, would you like to work together to do XYZ outcome? And now some percentage of them will ascend from a customer to a client. Now it's so much warmer and so much better when you're marketing to a customer and you turn them into a client. And they usually opt into the group element of the community inside Modern Maker. Some of those people might want to work in closer proximity to me one-on-one, so they basically go further up this OfferPeel, right, and go to the top tier. Now there's clients and there's higher ticket clients. And this is the reason why I was able to scale Modern Maker to 1.19 million over the last 2 years with only just under 100 clients, right? Because the closer the access, the closer the proximity, the better it is. So actually this OfferPeel is my proximity offer that only has 2 tiers, the group and the one-on-one. So I hope that makes sense. And this doodle has come to life, right? So we've got this OfferPeel, and then our little guy here puts his hands up and he's in heaven because he's gone through this and now feels happier. He's gone to Heaven Island. He's working 4 hours a day, 3-4 days a week, or whatever that meant to him. But just to summarize, we've got the daily client engine, which consists of turning a follower into a lead, to a customer, to a client, and then a higher ticket client. And we do that by dog whistling, by giving them little snacks in the micro snack cartel, and then by ascending them up the OfferPeel. Now, I want to put this into more of an implementation. So I've created this cheat sheet that I want to break down and show you here. And I'll also drop it below. So what do we mean by dog whistling? So for example here, this is a LinkedIn post that I wrote the other day. And you can see here, one sec. It's saying, what if you're not tired because you're doing too much? What if you're tired because you're holding too much that no longer feels like you? The offer that doesn't fit anymore, the clients you've outgrown, the schedule that made sense a past season, but doesn't match who you are now. So can you see, just by reading these lines, I'm being super specific, because if you're a beginner, you don't understand what it means like to have had a previous season. You don't understand what it means to sell an offer that is no longer aligned. Right? I won't go too far into this post, but the point of it is we are dog whistling. And then you can see I'm saying, if you want a crash course on how I make 10K a week, click visit my website at the top. And they go here, they click. And now if we go back to our Doodle, right, they've entered this territory. So we've dog whistled and they've come over here through to that. And I'm going to make them an offer, right? Now, so far so good. So that is the example of the post. There's another one here for you to check out. Then we've got the micro snack cartel. I just want to show you an example of an email, right? So how annoying is this first name? So I wrote an email that shows the what, not the how, calling somebody Brad, the bro coach, saying, hey bro, you want to jump on a call? I'll show you how we can book you 69 calls in 3 minutes. Literally, somebody said something similar on Instagram. So I wrote about that. And all we want to do to these Brad people is, punch them in the face 69 times in 3 minutes instead. Versus my client Sarah, who said it's annoying how many Stripe notifications I get once we installed the micro snack cartel. You little genius. So I'm writing a story-driven email. I'm giving the story about Sarah and whatnot. And then I'm saying, for $47, I can annoy you for weeks and months, right? Giving them a little video and then saying, pivoting it into an offer here. So you can have a read. And I've also basically given you an example of how from email I pivot into getting them to watch a YouTube video. So for example, this video, would your mum have this? I'm talking about Eminem here, probably saying palms were sweaty, knees weak, arms were heavy. The sawdust on his sweater already, mom spaghetti. And then talking about sawdust and all of that. And then I'm saying, by the way, don't collect dust, collect sawdust, like sell things that are already in your Google Drive that you've done. And then linking them here to a breakdown of how I made $3,000 to a YouTube video. And you can click that and watch that later, is no problem. And then you can see this is a low ticket again. Calling it slap stacking. And then they buy this product for a summer bundle. So that sort of shows you how I'm bringing in YouTube into the mix. I also have a training like where I show people this sort of exact model and what I do, and I bring in YouTube to go deeper. And then the example of the OfferPeel, right? So we've turned a customer, we want to turn them into a client here inside the OfferPeel layer. You can see, for example, I hosted a workshop, which is a product, right? Because it is part of the product part of the peel. It's not group coaching, it's not one-on-one, it's not a free resource. And then I sent back the replay and made this person an offer to become a client. And he said, I'm in, paid. So then I turned a customer into a client. This is turning a client into a higher ticket client. So this was a group coaching person who's sent me a message on the 15th of May. So not too long ago, about 2-3 weeks ago. 14th of May, they made the transaction, which is 4 figures over here annually, right? So we're stacking annual recurring revenue in this case. Said, you made some cash while you sleep. I booked the inner circle and the one-on-one meetings. So they bought additional consulting hours as well. And then it was a great mentorship. I had so many aha moments, and then they wanted to continue further, right? And then I woke up. So this is the OfferPeel, where we are taking group coaching clients and ascending them into one-on-one, or a one-on-one client who goes down and buys the group. So the closer or further away the proximity is, the more they pay. But we're not changing that offer, which is the beautiful part of this. So to summarize, I've shown you examples of how to dog whistle, the emails and the micro snacks, how we bring YouTube into the mix, and also the OfferPeel. One thing I've forgotten that I will also put here is this is a training that I show people the exact model. So if they want to work with me, they just send me a DM on Instagram, and then I send them a little doc, and that's it, which is a really big part of the automation. You can go through it and see, but this is very YouTube driven. I have an Instagram post or a story or a LinkedIn post. In fact, maybe I can find one from today where, so there we go. 5 hours ago, I've had a 4K day so far. Let's break it down. I'm breaking down similar to what I've shown you here. And I'm saying this is thanks to the daily client engine. It's the same thing that gets me 100 to 5K paydays while I've been failing at making baby milk. So there we go. And then I recorded a 20-minute crash course showing you how I do this. Click here, and then they click directly, and then this redirects them to a YouTube video. And it's the exact same process as to how I'm able to do this on autopilot without actually having to physically be there. So I hope you learned something. I also wanted to show you in real time here. For example, this is a person saying, hey, I landed in 2 of your email funnels, and now I want to know which product do I buy, the FU offer or the micro offer. So that's just an example. And then you can see this person, for example, that said, hey, I've just paid for the year. I'm really looking forward to building a system like you have built for yourself. Thank you. It's at 1:37 p.m. Today. It's now 2:18, so it's literally live from my inbox to show you that once you install this system, it really works. And it's not for everyone, right? Like some people might love the dopamine from sales calls and the hustle and all of that, but I'm in my leverage era personally, and I love it when everything comes inbound. So if this model resonates with you, or any part of it resonates, you can DM me the word maker on Instagram, and I'll send you the details, and you can check what it's like for us to work together. Otherwise, cheat sheet will be down below. You get to test all of these out and have a look at how this works. And I'm really excited to see you in the next video.